Okay, so Card Assassins is an interesting little game that makes you feel like you're never quite safe. And it achieves that very simply by creating a sense of paranoia and removing any ability to gauge how long a game might go on. Now, I played games similar to it growing up, namely one called Gotcha, where everybody has someone's name and they're hunting down their target and trying to eliminate them from the game. When you eliminate someone, you get their name, and so on and so forth until there's only one person left. Now, that is a very physical game in which you are actively chasing down your target, finding them and pegging them with a dart. Where Card Assassin differs, and it's a very similar game to that, is that instead of darts, what you're using are words. Because you're using words, you'll never outright know when someone's chasing you down or trying to get you to say the specific word. I think I'm getting ahead of myself here. Now, essentially what you've got is a number of assassins. They all have different names. Each player will be dealt one of these, depending on the player count, depends on which assassins you'll use. So, for instance, I could be Boris one round, and if I am, I turn around and I look at the card because depending on the player count, it's going to tell me who is my particular target. So, if we're playing a 4-player game, I know that as Boris, I'm going to be going after Fabio and trying to get them to say some sort of word. Now that all depends because everybody gets a card as well. And on this card is a list of 3 words. I pick one of these words and that is what I'm trying to get my target to say. So let's say I'm trying to get Fabio to say garlic. Now this has to come up in conversation. I can use other people to manipulate Fabio into saying that, but he doesn't know that I'm coming after him or even what the word might remotely be. And because of that, there is a heightened sense of paranoia in that every single word that you say could be your last in the game. What's really interesting is the fact that this game doesn't have a time limit. Now, you can artificially set one, say, for a game night. I've had the most success with this game, and we've had an absolute blast playing it over the course of a work week, in which there's 5 days in order for you to slowly eliminate people until there's only 2 people left. Now, it gets interesting when there's only 2 people left because you both know who is after the other person, but that's when you bring in other people, you bring in outside sources, people that aren't even playing the game, and you manipulate their thought process, you manipulate their conversation. It's because if you can just hear them say whatever word it is, then they lose. You assassinate them. The deck comes with a huge amount of word cards, and most of them are just fine. They do throw in a few words that I'd be a little bit uncomfortable playing with particular groups of people, but those are easy enough to weed out. If I had any complaint, it would be with the assassin cards. Now, you could have foregone these and just threw names into a hat, everyone draw a name, and that's who you're going after. And when you get someone out, you then take their target. But understandably, they wanted to put a solution in the box, and it's a pretty good solution. The only issue I have with it is the fact that if you continually play, say, 6-player games, eventually people are going to know that, you know, if I played Boris last game and someone else is going for Boris this game, they're going to know that in a 6-player game, Boris is going after Mina. That mystery is gone when you play with the same group of people or a large... that mystery is gone when you play with the same group of people over and over and over again. Again, you can make a homemade remedy for that, and this was just a solution that they threw in the box so that all the components were in there. But that's it. You've got assassin cards that are double-sided because they tell you who to go after on the back of it. A whole bunch of cards with conversation pieces and words that you're trying to get someone to say, and a simple little rule booklet. It's an incredibly easy, svelte, neat little game. It's one of those things where it's like, why didn't I think of this? Why wasn't this thought of before? Now, the cool thing is you can play this while playing other games. As I said, there's no confinement to the table to anything with this game. At the beginning of the night, you can hand out cards, and as you go through and you play different games, do different things, people can manipulate the conversation, people can team up, there can be alliances, and all you're trying to do, the only mechanic is to get your target to say a single word. Now, it's boiled down to something very simple, but that task in and of itself can be very difficult, especially depending on the word you picked. Okay, and yeah, we gotta get going. We gotta get out of here. Hello, this is Daniel.
Yeah, hi, did you get the banana?
No, was I supposed to pick up the bananas?
You fool! That was your word, you've been assassinated!